Well, with me is Minister Cretney. The weather has been dreadful as we're recording this. We're getting reports, that parts of the Isle of Man are almost a no-go area. How are you guys dealing with this?
Well, I'd first of all put on record my thanks to the emergency response from the DOI staff, from MEA and from the emergency services. As always, they come in when we're in our beds at night. They're out there gritting and clearing roads, and obviously working in terms of the MEA, where there's been a number of losses to power around the island. They're working as we speak to try and put those right. I think it's been made worse because of the gale force winds combined with the snow has cut off a number of areas in the Isle of Man, and they'll be working in the coming hours and days to make sure that everything is put right as soon as possible.
Does this squeeze your budgets?
That's exactly the point. My budget was already very squeezed, and we were coming up to the end of the month, the end of March, in terms of just being about on target, just after having to cut back in a number of areas. When you get a situation like this, you have no choice. You have to go out there and you have to do everything you can to make life as normal as possible for the people we represent.
And that's down to things like gritting roads. I mean, do you now have to prioritise more these days on what gets that grit and the main roads rather than just the off-roads?
Yeah, well, I think, yes, that it has always been the case that the main routes will be the ones which receive the most attention. In fact, that did come up as a parliamentary question prior to my time, when there were certain estate roads that weren't receiving the attention, but it has to be the main routes that receive first priority, and that continues to be the case.
Overall, though, hasn't it been a better winter, if you can have such a thing? I mean, less actual big closures and less snow? Yes,
it has. Less snow, but much more rain. And again, that was reflected last summer as well. The summer we had was very limited, but we did have lots of rain, and that has caused ongoing problems in terms of flooding. And, we're working with lots of people to try and minimise that for the future as well.